Good morning, dear students. This is Dr. Jyotsna Aneja, Assistant Professor in BPT Department, RPIT Technical and Medical Campus. So today I'm going to start the new topic, that is the physiology of insulin. Insulin is a hormone, anabolic hormone secreted by the endocrine pancreas. Endocrine pancreas is a microscopic cluster of cells, islets of Langerhans. There are four major types of cell in the islets of Langerhans: alpha cells, beta cells, delta cells, and PP cells. Alpha cells secrete glucagon, beta cells secrete insulin, delta cells secrete somatostatin, and PP cells secrete pancreatic polypeptide. So insulin is a storage and the anabolic hormone. Glucagon is a hyperglycemic facilitator. Somatostatin is a universal inhibitor of secretory cells, and pancreatic polypeptide is a stimulatory secretion of the GI and the intestinal enzymes. It may also inhibit intestinal motility, that is, reduces the intestine movement. So these are the four types showing in the islets of Langerhans: beta cells, alpha cells, delta cells, and the somatostatin PP cells. So alpha cells secrete glucagon, beta cells secrete insulin, delta cells secrete somatostatin, and the PP cells or exocrine cells secrete pancreatic polypeptide. So what is insulin exactly? It is a polypeptide which contains 55 amino acids arranged in two chains, alpha or beta or A or B chains. A chains contain 21 amino acids and B chain contains 30 amino acids as shown in the diagram, and they are all linked by the disulfide bond, that is double sulfur bond. So how it is synthesized in our body or in the beta cell? Insulin is produced by the beta cells of pancreas. Beta cells are in the islets of Langerhans. Rough endoplasmic reticulum, it may first converted into the pre-pro-insulin. Then pre-pro-insulin goes into the Golgi apparatus. It moves towards Golgi apparatus, where it gets converted into the pro-insulin, which is a precursor of the insulin by the prohormone convertase. Now pro-insulin goes to the secretory granules. It may convert it into the insulin. Proinsulin is having the alpha chain, beta chain plus C peptide. So when it gets converted into the insulin, it remains as insulin is only having alpha and beta chain. There is no C peptide in the insulin. So the difference between the proinsulin, which is a precursor of insulin, and insulin is that proinsulin is with C peptide, alpha beta chain along with C-peptide, but insulin is without C-peptide. Now, when the insulin gets formed, they get stored into the secretory granules by the Golgi apparatus. Some C-peptide, some insulin, and some proinsulin also gets, little amount of proinsulin also gets stored in the secretory granules. So secretion, how it gets secreted into the cells or into the blood. The important trigger for this release of insulin is glucose. Intracellular transport of glucose is mediated by the GLUT2, that is called glucose uptake transporter 2, an insulin independent glucose transporter in the beta cell. Glucose undergoes oxidative metabolism in the beta cell to yield ATP. ATP inhibits an inward rectifying potassium channel receptor on the beta cell surface. The receptor itself is the dimeric complex of the sulfonylurease receptor and a potassium channel protein. Inhibition of this receptor leads to membrane depolarization, influx of calcium ions, and release of stored insulin from the beta cells. This is the diagram showing how the insulin gets secreted. So first of all, there is a potassium channel protein inactivated the membrane depolarization. When the membrane gets depolarized, there is an influx of calcium from ECF to the inside, influx of calcium ion. So as soon as the calcium reaches the cell, it will help the insulin in which it is secreted in secretory granules. They get fused with the cell membrane and then they get released outside the cell. So when it gets released outside the cell, it has to bind with the receptor of the target organ to work on the target organ or target cell. So insulin receptor is a combination of four subunits held together by disulfide bonds. Two extracellular alpha subunits lie entirely outside the cell, has insulin binding site. Two transmembrane beta subunits penetrate through the membrane protruding into the cytoplasm, and there is a tyrosine protein kinase activity through which only insulin receptor complex done its activity. So insulin binding to its receptor stimulate intrinsic tyrosine kinase enzyme activity, with the help of which receptor autophosphorylation occurs and the recruitment of the intracellular signaling molecules such as insulin receptor substrate. Insulin substrate receptor and other adapter proteins initiate a complex cascade of phosphorylation and dephosphorylation reactions, resulting in the widespread metabolic mitogenic effects of insulin. As an example, activation of the phosphatidylinositol 3 kinase, which is called PI3 kinase pathway, stimulates translocation of glucose transporters, for example, GLUT4, to the cell surface, an event that is crucial for glucose uptake by skeletal muscles and fat. Activation of other insulin receptor signaling pathways induces glycogen synthesis, protein synthesis, lipogenesis, and regulation of various genes. This is the insulin signaling cascade pathway showing in the diagram how it works with the help of the GLUT4 transporters. They are the insulin sensitive GLUT4 transporters through which glucose enters into the cell. As shown in the diagram, this is a glucose, and with the help of GLUT4 transporter, it may enter into the cell, gets converted into glucose 6-phosphate, and then it gets metabolized or stored. Next is the regulation of insulin secretion. Secretion of insulin from beta cell is regulated by the following mechanisms: chemical, hormonal, and neural mechanism. Chemical mechanism is mainly by glucose entry into the cells, and other nutrients which are also responsible for chemical metabolism: amino acids, fatty acids, and ketone bodies. Glucose induces a brief pulse of insulin output within 2 minutes. Glucose and other nutrients are more effective when given orally than IV because they generate chemical signals in cretins from the gut which act directly on the beta cells, and with the help of which immediate release of insulin occurs. Hormonal regulation: intra-islet pancreas interactions between the hormones produced by islets of Langerhans between the alpha cells, beta cells, and the delta cells. Growth hormone, corticosteroids, thyroxine modify the insulin release in response to glucose. Prostaglandins has been shown to inhibit the insulin secretion. Another is the neuroregulation. Islet of Langerhans are richly innervated by both adrenergic and cholinergic nerves. Alpha to adrenergic receptor inhibit insulin release. Beta to adrenergic and vagal nerve enhances insulin release. Any condition that activates the sympathetic branch of the autonomic nervous system, such as hypoxia, that is deficiency of oxygen, hypoglycemia, deficiency of glucose, hypothermia, less temperature, they all suppresses the secretion of insulin by stimulation of alpha-2 receptors. So what are the actions of insulin? Rapid actions within seconds increase the transport of glucose, amino acid, and potassium into the insulin sensitive cells. Intermediate action within minutes, stimulation of protein synthesis, inhibition of protein degradation, that is inhibition of protein breakdown, activation of glycolytic enzymes and glycogen synthesis, inhibition of phosphorylase and gluconeogenic enzymes. Delayed, with that means in hours, close in the mRNA for lipogenic and other enzymes. So effects of insulin on the target tissue. On adipose tissue, it increases the glucose uptake, increases lipid production or lipogenesis, and inhibit the breakdown of lipid, that is lipolysis. On muscles, increases glucose uptake, increases glycogen synthesis, that is glycogenesis, and increases protein synthesis. On liver, it decreases or inhibits gluconeogenesis, that is synthesis of glucose. It inhibits synthesis of glucose, increases glycogen synthesis, and increases lipogenesis. Fate of insulin: it's a peptide, that means it gets degraded in the GIT when given orally. Injected insulin or that released from pancreas is metabolized by liver and to a smaller extent in kidney and muscles. 50% of insulin entering portal vein is inactivated in the first passage through liver, and plasma half-life is 5 to 9 minutes. So what is diabetes mellitus? It is all based on the secretion of insulin. So chronic metabolic disorder characterized by hyperglycemia, that is increased glucose level in the blood, glycosuria, increased excretion of glucose in the urine, and hyperlipemia. It results from a defective or deficient insulin secretory response. Multi-organ damage can occur in this: kidneys, eyes, nerves, and blood vessels. There are two major types of diabetes mellitus: Type 1, which is insulin-dependent diabetes mellitus. Type 2, which is non-insulin-dependent diabetes mellitus. Type 1, which is insulin-dependent, both type 1 and type 2 eventually require insulin. Early onset, less than 20 years. Juvenile diabetes, it can also be called as immune-mediated destruction of beta cells. In this, by T cells or autoantibodies. And then there is a decreased release of blood insulin, which increases the blood glucose level. Type 2 is non-insulin dependent diabetes. It may eventually require insulin. It is non-immune mediated and it has a later onset after 40 years. So it has genetic predisposition and obesity lifestyle factors influences it. Insulin resistance, that means compensatory beta cell hyperplasia, beta cell failure or beta cell failure later stages. So normoglycemia can occur, impaired glucose tolerance, or that may ultimately result into the diabetes. Thank you so much. Hope this will help you a lot. If you have any doubts, any queries, can write me on hodbpt@rpiit.com. And please share and like this video and don't forget to subscribe our channel RPIIT Academics on YouTube channel. Thank you so much.